And bringing it back upfield, that's David Alder. Man, what a hit.
Yeah, I believe Clayton Allen was the one that led that hit. And actually, I think they're bringing the first unit out to start the second half.
Matt Brown, quarterback, is back here for the second half. He is 1 of 3 in the ball game.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to bring it out and get their offense back in the rhythm and then switch it around again.
Brown under center, getting his receiver Allen back on the right side of the field. Lined up now. And we got movement along the offensive line. That time it's going to be the tight end, Brian Southers.
Well, after you sit down there for so long, your knuckles tend to get pretty white. You're ready to move, and so first down, you just jump off sides. You get excited there.
That'll be an illegal procedure. Now we're going to take a look at that hit. Watch the left side of your screen. Oh, man! That was Allen right there. Oh!
Well, they will call that a knockout blow, and actually, they have this big thing where they just put it up in your locker for the week. See your picture on there.
Deandra Moore that got hammered that time. And Clayton Allen showed he's not only fast and can run, but he can lay a pop on somebody. And the pitch, and Wesley getting outside, using his speed across the 40, the 45, and out to the 50, and into Belton territory. Well, that was just pure speed there.
Well, what they're doing is that they're outflanking him to the left side. They sort of traded to get the inside to move, but as they move out to the edge, they're letting him get that space. You see, he actually loses yards to gain yards, but they're capturing the corner, and that's giving him a little space to outrun those that's having to run all the way across the field.
And he really does a great job as he comes around the side of knowing where the sidelines are and cutting back to give himself more running room to move. He could have tried to work his way down the sidelines, instead tried to cut back to get more. And we've got a flag.
Well, actually, it looked like it took quite a bit of time for them to get that play working, or they're pushing the clock back up.
Procedure, false start.
And then moving.
That was Pee Wee Summers throwing that flag. Hey! Victor Wesley having a pretty tidy night. 5 carries, 81 yards, a couple of touchdowns, a 16.2 yard per carry average.
Well, I think that's going to help him out a little bit.
You think that'll do it?
In the statistic column.
That'll make for a nice day on the film room on Monday. Watson, Brown keeps it instead, cutting back, got running room. He may not have a lot of speed, but he's got enough. Now he makes a great spin and down to about the 15-yard line.
Well, they're running the option play left and right, and they're getting the same set. They get the 2 backs, and they send one in motion. He actually becomes the pitch guy from the backside.
Here's a good look at it.
He's reading right there. He reads the end go down, and then he makes a great cut right here underneath and cuts it all the way back across the field.
Well, he knows he's going to have the momentum of the players going that way, and he's got his blockers surging across that'll help build him a wall, and that's what he took advantage of, getting all the way down to the 15-yard line. Great run.
That was a 39-yard run. And he was very patient to get back on the backside and cut all the way across the grain.
Coaches were telling him great run as well as there's a timeout called.
And actually running the offense is running option left, option right. I think you have to have a quarterback that has adequate speed, but on top of that, great decision-making skills as you're going through the line. If he's faking the ball through the middle, how to read that tackle. So if the tackle comes down, you can pull the ball out and run it around the edge.
American Cablevision is proud to give you ESPN College Football Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Penn State and Purdue, and the Nittany Lions have been struggling. At 6:30, Tennessee at Alabama. That should be a fine one. Peyton Manning, one of the best young quarterbacks in the country, just a sophomore, and this kid can flat out play football. He is you talk about a great decision maker. He's got a great arm. He's got great genes, of course, with his dad, Archie, but he can just flat out play. Threw for some 363 yards last week. This time it's Geddes. Kofi Geddes just keeps bouncing off people, still up inside the 5 and down to about the 4-yard line.
Well, earlier we were talking about the patience of the back of him sitting behind that big wall, and actually he just sort of ran right behind the wall and just kept running behind the wall. Nobody actually knew where the ball was. They were trying to get there, but there was just a massive big push, and that's what they always say is once you get inside of the pile, to push the pile and to keep going until the whistle's blown.
And he kept the legs driving too. Now we'll name you off those offensive linemen again in a moment because they've been doing a great job for Hickman Mills tonight. Brown looking to pass, the flag's down, complete, touchdown. Southers makes the touchdown catch, but we have a motion call against the offense, so they'll nullify that one. Along that offensive line for the Cougars, Marvance Cootie, Corey Brasselman, Stuart Blackwell, Josh Vaughn, John Phelps, and Brian Southers at the tight end spot as well. They have been doing a great job blocking tonight. So the motion call will push him back 5 yards to just inside the 10. So the touchdown is nullified, and we'll stay at 35-0 at least for the moment. Matt Brown will get under center once again now on a 1st and goal, and he'll pass. So, and he's hollered, thrown down. The ball is loose, and picking it up and running with it is Watson. Watson gets down to the 10, but we've got a flag, and I think that's going to be a face mask. I think he may have caught him with a hand in the ear hole.
Oh, he definitely got a hold of his face mask and almost ripped his head off. He actually has to let go of that thing. You could actually hurt somebody's neck.
I don't know if he actually caught the face mask or just the side of the helmet. We'll see if we can pick it up on the replay.
You see him coming right up the middle. They run the exact same play.
He just caught him at the top of the. Looked like he caught the top of the helmet there.
And he has a definitely hold on the face mask, and that really hurts in the morning. That's for sure.
So they gain back some yards there, and it will be 1st down from the 5 now. And Brown will have Crenshaw split out wide to the right. And they'll pitch. Watson hit and stuffed at about the 7-yard line.
We try to do the shift over and get more people to the right side of it. They went into halftime and said, hey, we need to shift over and get more people outside there so we can contain them.
I said that was Watson. That was actually Mike Rose on the carry, number 34, not number 32. So the backfield has Rose, Watson, and Wesley. And Watson is the lone back behind center. And he'll get the football. No, Brown will keep it himself, and he'll waltz into the end zone.
They're having a lot of difficulty playing the option because there's so many different things that the defensive line has to take care of, a linebacker has to take care of, and then the corner or the safety has to come up and take care of. And it makes it difficult. And if you don't play it right and the quarterback's reading right, then you can't stop that type of offense.
Well, we were talking earlier on about how important just staying at home at your position when you're the end of the outside linebacker can mean, particularly in the option. If you don't stay at home and you don't protect your areas, it can become very, very difficult to guard the option.
Oh, high snap coming to the back.
And this is Wise looking around for somewhere to run, and this is a big guy, 210
and he could go all the way.
And they haul him down at the 5.
Well, I think they just found a 7th running back that they might have to go to.
Garrett Wise, normally a linebacker, and he turned it around and picked up actually about 30 yards on that attempt. And there's a good look at the touchdown once again, the fake. And you got the tackle going for the fake, and that leaves everything open. They just sealed it off very easily.
You see, and actually they take the quarterback's eyes, and he's looking straight down the line. And then he comes down, he has the option to pitch, but there's nobody out there because they're all taking the inside dive play, which has been very effective for Hickman. And here they go, we have a They have the high snap coming out of there. I think he was deep snapping instead of short snapping. But here goes the big guy making nice moves. You know, he got his chance to hold the ball, and he wants to get in the end zone too. But the guy catches it from behind and makes a great play.
Garrett still managed, I think, when he finally got the football, I think he was out here at about the 34-yard line, so he took it all the way down to the 5, about a 30-yard run. There we go, 5 plays, 65 yards, and Brown with the touchdown run. 41-0 now.
Are they looking at you?
Hickman Mills over Belton.
There's nobody in the pitch fence. Nobody even looked at me. I wanted to kick that so bad. I was back there warming up.
I think that was Garrett Wise, wasn't that him saying, I wanted to kick that so bad? He's not their normal place kicker back there, and he was getting an opportunity, and instead he ends up having to try and run it in. And there's a good high kick, taken once again by Moore. Moore is collared and hammered down at the 24-yard line.
A great play off of the special teams.
That was Bradley Wise. Now, last time Moore got his clock cleaned on the other return on the hit from Allen, and now look at this one.
I think he was looking downfield and got collared on the way by, and that was just an actual good special teams player where he gets down on his blocker and he plays off right to the inside, right there. And I really don't think the blocker really wanted to hit him.
I tell you, you want to look at that form over there one more time. There's a total yardage tonight. Not fun for the Belton side. You want to look at that form from the block. That was kind of a duck your head and hope you make some contact with him, but I really don't want to be doing this. Handoff to Josh Miller, and Miller takes it out to about the 29-yard line. 41-0 our score. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter of action. Kirk Kentner checking into the ball game there, number 31, rather Kent Kentner. Kirk is number 32. And at quarterback, Ryan Jones, the sophomore, making just his third start for the Pirates. Young team taking their lumps tonight, but they'll learn from the mistakes. And pressure was on, and Miller is hammered right there at the line of scrimmage. Mike Rose on the tackle.
It seems like they're having a hard time of trying to get the ball moving. They're using sideward cut blocks and trying to slow them down some. You're looking to see their line getting handled very, very, very badly. And, I think that's going to come in time as they get better. And they learn, how to sit down and get technique-wise. And, of course, this is a tough game, but they're doing the best they can. They're doing a great job.
Hickman Mills, has some size. Andy Hines playing one tackle at 200 pounds. Mike Rose, who plays the nose guard, but not really a big guy. He's not too big, I should say, 210. And there's the pitch outside, and Miller that time flung out of bounds short of the yardage needed for the first down. Jerome Hawkins, who also playing along that line, 200 pounds. And then Corey Brasselman, of course, who we've called his name a bunch, 200 pounds. So they got some good size. Not huge, but they've got more size than Belton does along that line.
Well, once they get going, they're attack-style defense inside because they have so many people inside the line that they're just attacking it. And they're beating them to the punch, and that's what's giving them such a hard time.
Bozarth back to punt. Gets this one off, kind of a knuckleball. Crenshaw takes it. He's got running room to the 50, the 40. He's got one man to beat right there. He gets by him. He's got a wall of blockers. Can he go all the way inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line and hit from behind, and finally brought down? Zach Crenshaw, just 5'9" and 160. Well, this little senior has a big return, 51 yards. And Zach will stay in the ball game, and here's a look at the return.
Well, he gets, a good no block from number 3, actually, and then he just finds a little crack and gets through and breaks a few tackles. This is a small guy, only 160 pounds, making great moves down the field, getting a lot of lead blockers, and they're finishing their blocks. And I think that's what makes a big difference when the team is working together to get everybody into the end zone.
I think what really worked well for him there is Brown gives it off to the second back and pounding down there. That's Mike Rose. I think what really worked for Crenshaw, though, was he did a good job of following his blockers. He let his blockers set things up for him and kept working stutter stepping if he needed to get a blocker in front of him.
Yeah, it seems like, like they're teaching him a lot of patience as far as waiting on things to unfold and then going and hitting those
holes, yeah. This time Rose once again pounding his way in to the goal line. Is he there? Yes. Touchdown, Hickman Mills.
Well, now they run a lot of power football inside, and they're just banging away at them and faking one way and giving it back to them behind two big league blockers.
47-0 now with 2:24 remaining in the third quarter of action. And by the way, Garrett Wise will get his chance once again to kick. He was so thrilled about the last opportunity, even though they snapped it over his head. He's in there to place kick one more time.
Well, if I remember correctly, that's not even the first snapper. I think the number is different than the
you
first
may
snapper
be
that
right.
was in there before.
The snap is a little high, and Brown can't handle it, and Wise is going to have to try and carry it again. And he can't break any tackles this time, and he's brought down. Boy, he wants an opportunity to kick, and he's just not getting it. Here's a look at the touchdown one more time. Mike Rose.
They just load up behind him, and he just walks behind all of his blockers.
There you go. Getting that congratulations from the line. That's Stuart Blackwell, who is opening up the hole there at the center position. And this Hickman Mills team is rolling along. Theotis, you haven't brought us any food yet. What are you doing down there?
Well, if I haven't brought you any food, one thing I have brought you, I brought you the guy with the funny-looking hat here. And that's the head linesman, the guy who's working a chain gang here, Dennis Brady. Dennis, tell us a little bit about this hat here.
Well, it's cougar color. That's the best. And it's my hunting hat, and it fits in with the way we're doing. This is the chain gang. Bobby Brady's grandpa and Steve Southers.
Now, Bobby Brady's your son, is number 56.
Right.
And you wanted to make sure you got the best seat in the house.
This is the best seat. Grandpa got rolled last week even.
My, oh, my. And, guys, you trying to wonder what you thought I looked funny. Guys, back up to you.
Oh, thanks, Theotis. Grandpa got rolled last week. Oh, my. The kick is up, and Belton will try and bring it back. Across the 30, running room, one man to beat. That was Cornell Theus, who took it all the way out across the 45.
That
nice
was a
return.
Great return. He just actually found himself a nice hole and got up in it. It's better to run north and south and east and west, and it always works the best to get that way.
Let's take a look at that play by Cornell Theus from ground level.
See, he just makes one little cut there, and he's off to the races. He has one guy to beat, actually two, because one guy knocked him off his feet.
You know who that was again? That's Zach Crenshaw. That guy likes to hit people. He isn't very big, but he likes to hit. He has been making some pops out there on people. Jones will pitch it this time to Theus, trying to get outside. Got a little bit of running room, maybe picked up 2 or 3 on the play.
Well, I was wanting to say that, we got the American Cablevision has a high school game of the week on Friday night at 10:30 p.m. You can also see it on Saturday mornings at 10:30 p.m. and also Monday night at 9:30 p.m.
Actually, 10:30 a.m. on Saturday
a.m. I'm sorry.
You know, he's a rookie.
I'm young. I have to learn how to do these things,
I didn't even give him the cue. He just took the football and ran with that. And you only fumbled it there briefly.
Yeah, AM, PM,
That's right. Duron Cherry once was in that chair. He now owns an NFL team. You stick with me, kid, you'll go a long way. Jones brought down on the sack.
Well, there
just wasn't any running room pass.
They went to that pitch play action again.
And he's hurting. I don't know.
Well, it looks like the guy grabbed his face mask on the way down.
He's grabbing his shoulder.
His shoulder, but he came down. He also grabbed his face mask on the way down. See, a lot of pressure in his face. See, he goes to the face mask and comes down, and he might have came down full pressure on his shoulder.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Just as he was about to hit the ground, He had one of his own players and another defender land on top of him, and that rammed that right shoulder, that throwing arm, into the ground. So we'll see if we can check and see how he's doing physically. That's the end of the third quarter. Our score, 47-0, Hickman Mills on top here on the high school game of the week. Well, we showed you the American Cablevision times for the high school game of the week. You can always catch it 3 times a week. You can always catch This Week in Mizzou football as well with Coach Larry Smith 4 times each week. Thursday nights at 6:30, Fridays at 5 p.m., Fridays at 10, and Saturdays when?
At 10 a.m.
A.m., that's right, A.m.
I got a feeling you're going to give me a hard time about
You
this.
bet. You bet. And there is the Cougar. The Cougar was just taken down by a cheerleader, I think.
I think he's the one that does double duty.
There's a rowdy rag there. That Cougar's got something really ugly on his head, whatever that is. That's Twinkie powered, apparently. Yeah, they can celebrate tonight. Their team is playing very well. We'll get ready for action here in the fourth quarter with Belton with the football, and Josh Miller will come in and take over as quarterback with Ryan Jones with the shoulder injury on the final play of the quarter. Miller, the senior, who was the starting quarterback to begin the year, and he is sacked, and that's Mike Rose. Well, he tried to set up the pass and realized that he had Rose coming at him and tried to duck under him and push it upfield, but there was no running room.
Well, they were trying to get him to move out of the pocket because of the pressure up the middle is coming so fast. They're penetrating a lot on the defensive line, and so he's trying to roll out, and he feels the pressure from behind him, and he just can't get away from him. There's a great play by the nose.
And a punting situation now for Belton. Bozarth's kick will hit it about the 45 and bound out right near the 40-yard line.
Well, I actually wonder if it was designed to go that way after the last return.
May not have been a bad idea. Hickman Mills will have the football, and Garrett Wise is saying, come on, Coach, score one more time. I want a chance to kick the football on an extra point. Or can I play running back? Now that I've had to run the ball a couple of times anyway on those bad snaps, could I play running back?
Well, I think they're going to try to hopefully try to rotate their line in. It looks like he's hurting pretty bad over there on the other side, on the Belton side.
That gives me the look of a team doctor coming out of the stands there, or along the sideline, so we'll have to see. Grego on the option, keeping it himself, gets about 2 on the play. And Theodis Brown is, we understand, working his way around the field, and he'll be checking in over there to see what he can find out on the status of Ryan Jones, but it looks pretty apparent that Ryan Jones is done for the evening. Just one of those kind of injuries that the way the injury occurred, it leads you to believe that he at the least might have a bruised shoulder. At the most, he could have a broken collarbone. You hope for the former and not the latter.
Most definitely, because that means he's out. He's done for a few weeks, which is almost the end of the season.
Brandon Grego under center. 2nd down and 7. And this time the fumble on the handoff. And that's a new man in the backfield. Who was that? There we go. That was Shelton Ross, and Shelton looked like he was trying to pick up a loaf of bread there and just couldn't get the handle on it. He didn't have a normal hand toss there.
It looked like his hand placement was off. He was looking down the field instead of looking at the ball coming into his hand. See, he's looking down the field for a place to run before he actually gets a hold of the ball.
What we're hearing from the sidelines is, according to the assistant coaches up here for the Belton staff, is that possible, as Ross is scrambling and going the other way, got a little block from his quarterback, but can't find any running room, and he'll be thrown for a loss of about 3. It appears that Ryan Jones may have broken his collarbone. He obviously knew he was seriously injured when he came right off the field. I mean, he got up, but he made a beeline for the sidelines, and we hope that's not the case, but if it is, we hope for a speedy return for the sophomore.
Well,
holding it like a loaf of bread here.
I think he's going back in the old days of yesteryear where you can actually hold the ball like this, you know, and get away with it. But if somebody even taps him too hard, I think he's gonna lose that ball.
I believe he was trying to do his best Gale Sayers impersonation, and coming up and getting that ball and taking the pop, Keon Finch.
Finch on the return. You're wise on the tackle for the Cougars.
Hickman Mills will get the football with 7:58 remaining in the ballgame, 47-0. And we want to watch Sheldon Ross. He's carrying it from the time he's got the football. Now, right about now, see, he's just about ready to eat that. He was going to take a bite of it right there, and then he saw another guy, but he got a big block. You know who that was? Tell you one thing I'm impressed with the blocking of the wide receivers for Hickman Mills. That was Clayton Allen. And Josh Miller throws the pass, and it is dropped by Jeremy Kruger. And once you carry it like the loaf of bread on the sidelines, what happens to you? What do you think happens to you when you're carrying it like you got a loaf of bread in your hands? This is what the coach does. Coach gives you that kind of look and says, don't ever do that again. He's going to hear that from Coach.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a hard time, too.
That may be one of those, we're going to make you carry that around in school all day on Monday.
Well, I don't think the teachers like you to do that too much.
They don't let them do that anymore?
No, they have this thing, you know, student athlete, you know, they have a hard time with just, you know, carrying footballs around.
Teaching to carry it in his left hand, he can write with his right hand, right?
Yeah, teachers seem to take that personally. You know?
Yes, I understand. Hey, but these guys are all teaching. These guys are all teachers.
Yeah, they say, well, you have to hold it in my class.
Right. You got coaches who are math teachers and history teachers and everything else. They're saying, okay, well, if you can't carry it in every class, you're going to carry it in mine.
Now, I can see that.
Third down and 10 now for Belton. Josh Miller hands it off on the little counter play to Kintner, and he slips down. I think he may have been tripped up along the feet by Corey Brasselman.
Well, that was an inside handoff where he actually makes a complete circle here, and he lets the ball go right up inside handoff so that you can get the misdirection and keep the backers off your back.
That was Corey Brasselman who made it look like he'd slipped to the turf. He dove over his blocker and got a piece of it. So now on fourth down, Belton will punt once again. Bozarth has gotten a lot of work punting, and boy, the pressure coming through and almost blocked. And that was a good kick, though. They'll bounce out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Mike Rose just about came up with another block there.
Well, I think that's only about the third time they've actually went for it. He's coming right over here off the left side.
But watch the middle. Somebody got clocked. The center is the one that got nailed to the ground. That was Rose coming up the middle, I guess it was.
Well, you know, the center is the most vulnerable. He's got his head between his legs looking back, you know.
Got his head down.
You know, we call those guys, you know, we call them scaredy cats. You know, they don't want to hit you with your head up. But that's the way you get taught to do it, though.
Let's go down to Theotis Brown and check on an injury update on Ryan Jones. Theotis?
Well, guys, it looks very serious here. Talking to physician Steve Bowie from Hickman Mills, it looks like quarterback Ryan Jones has a fractured collarbone, and he got it when he was rolling.